Oh, great, we're going. Hello, gutter sluts and bubble butts. This is the return of the TUC Talk podcast at its semi-regular schedule. Today, we're going to talk about how the media influences us, whatever. In any case, if you walk into Times Square and you see a billboard, do you just believe whatever it says and buy the nearest product? Or do you just go on your favorite news channel and just assume whatever political positions your favorite pundit does? Let's all talk about it now on our March 27 podcast. Look at that. Look how far we've come.
Yeah. I missed that intro.
Yeah, where's Sean? Is Sean not coming?
Yeah, he'll be party
Yeah,
life,
we
party
have
life.
too many minorities as it is. It's fine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tech Talk podcast. As always, let's start with the mental health check-in. And it's been a while, so I'm guessing new terrible things have happened to all of us. Okay, for those who don't already know, and it's been a while, so I forgot too. One is I want to die. Two, my life is pointless. Three, nothing matters. Four, my life sucks now. Five, whatever. Six, I'm content. Seven, I'm grateful. Eight, I'm in a good place. Nine, I'm excited. 10, I couldn't be better. I feel like we could cut out like three or four of these.
You say we could cut out 3 or 4 of these?
Yeah, we could cut out three or four of these because if nothing matters, my life obviously sucks. And if I'm whatever, then it's like you know, we could take out like I'm grateful. It's kind of the same as I'm content.
What, they go hand in hand?
Kind of, it's like six and seven are like the same thing, and it's like maybe we could add like a new one that's like I don't know, existential.
We duly noted.
Like yeah, whatever. Everyone use this for today. Go, who wants to go?
How about we start with you, host?
I thought you called me a hoe, and I'm like, yes, okay. I gladly wear it. Yeah. Let's see. The problem is there are too many options, and like if you give people too many options, they're like paralyzed. But
I love options.
we're not talking about your dating life right now. Yeah, no, I'm not a four. I'm not quite a five. I mean, like I don't know. Like life has been pretty rough. I mean, I think I'm just like Donnie. I'm incapable of feeling grateful for all the wonderful things that are happening to me because I'm like so focused on the things that I want to happen and they're not happening at the pace I need them to be. Like business wise, I guess I can break down into my life into like three categories like finances, interest, and relationships. And that's like, oh, fuck. Okay. And relationships. Financially wise, yeah, no, I'm doing a great job. I'm at my main job. I'm getting bonuses. I'm getting looked at for like promotions. That's good. And my side hustle, which is like being a PI, we finally found our niche, and I can't talk too much about it, but it can like involve like our investigations can potentially lead to class action lawsuits with the state, and I guess that's pretty exciting. But I don't know. I do this so often that like this kind of shit is just now commonplace. It's not a big deal. As far as interests go, I'm finally doing martial arts again, which after like a 8 9 year, more like 6 7 year hiatus. And it's glad to see that I haven't lost everything that I was good at, and like I'm learning new styles. And yeah, it's a great way to meet people and vent out frustration by beating up strangers. But I guess it's just the relationship part of my life not going well. I've been starting a lot of beefs lately, and
Uh-oh.
no, I know, and it might even touch upon our topic a little bit about like what the media tells us. And, I'll drop a little controversial opinion that's a semi joke, but semi the truth. And the wrong people see it, the rumors spread, and like everyone's like, "Kenny, you horrible genocide supporter."
All
It's
right.
like, what the fuck?
Let me ask you this. When you say relationship, are you talking platonic relationships or like
I'm just saying
romantic?
platonically. I mean, romantic. It's like nothing's really going on right now. There. I mean, like I'm going on
I
dates, but
mean,
that could be.
romance is overrated anyway, Kenny. So
I didn't even bring up romance, Donnie. I'm not compared to this.
Dottie, stop projecting your own
Don't you
relationship
fucking
into
patronize me. No, it's fine there. I think my problem is that like I'm dating women who are a bit, maybe not in my age range per se, and yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Okay, you like older women, right?
Oh God, yes, I
what are
do.
you dating, like 40s?
Well, no, I usually not. Usually it's just like 30 to 35.
Oh, okay.
And
And
you're what, 25, 26?
25. Yeah, I know.
Damn.
I'm using up the best years of their lives. I break up with them, and look at that, they're already past menopause.
All right, Marie, as the sole lady on this panel, what advice do you have for
Get the fuck
Kenny
out!
for
I
his
don't want the
relationship?
camera anymore. Get this.
Advice for his dating life.
Yes.
Do I
Like, do you
need
think
advice?
that he
I think
should
he just
focus
got
on
that.
women like closer to his age group, or
What?
what do you say?
I don't know. It depends on what he wants. But
It depends on what I can get. If
She
Jesus
said
wants to
Kenny
give
is
me
an
older
enigma.
women, if Jesus wants to give me older women, he wants to give me older women. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, I just take what life gives me. And besides, I didn't even make that my central focus. Like, I started off on a completely different topic.
Yeah, I don't know. How did we get here?
I don't know.
I think I mentioned romance. And
Okay. Oh,
Just
are you
went on a
volunteering now, Donnie? Go for it. How's that?
no,
How are the
no.
bitches, Donnie? How are the bitches? Bitches is
Dottie be going on dates every week.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, what?
Stop being modest, bro. Like, the ladies love Radio Donnie.
I mean,
They do. Right? As you said, I mean, you
that
got
might have been
clout now.
that might have been true once upon a time, but now it's like settled down. Like I'm staying celibate, not by choice, but I'm just enjoying my career now.
Thank you, Donnie. I feel so much better now. Thank you. In comparison, I'm doing great.
Okay, here goes Sean.
Sean, we were talking about your favorite subject.
My favorite subject.
How you be finessing all these women with your dance skills?
Oh my god! I just got in. Hey
Oh,
guys.
Donnie, you think you're done? What? Come
Yeah,
on.
Donnie,
Oh.
what the fuck?
Oh, I
You're done
didn't know it
already.
was my turn.
I didn't want to talk about romance. Why is that like the main focus of everything?
I'm good.
How are you doing?
Because Donnie's a hopeless romantic who just gets all his love advice from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, well, that's that and indie romance flicks and stuff like that. But I'm good. I'm good. I will say I've been doing one thing. I've been more social. Checking in with my friends a lot more on in their mental health. So I will say that's out of character for me. But,
Do you do the whole 1 to scale 1 to 10 with them too, or
no, I just text them at the beginning of the week and I text them at the end of the week and be like, hey, I'm just checking in. Like anything you want to talk about, stuff like that.
see? I be trying to do that, but they be getting offended because they think I'm supposed to be doing that shit every day. Say, Liddell, you just hit me up when you feel like it. Like,
All right, this would be the last time I hit you up. Fuck out of here.
let me not vent. This is your segment, Donnie. Go ahead.
But no, I've been good. I've just been chilling, just working a lot. Looking forward to all these festivals, you know.
Oh wait, did I send you another email about a festival?
I don't know. Did you?
I forgot, bro. I don't remember.
Oh wait, was it Lollapalooza? The camping?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that. I think it conflicts with like I had to put down on a calendar all the festivals. There's a lot in June.
You see,
and I don't think I'll be able to make that
see,
one.
this is how busy Donnie is now. Basically, now like it's not okay. I got something to go to. Like, can you make it? He gets to pick and choose.
Yeah, I had to like put
so
stuff in a calendar now and stuff like that. Block out weeks and
he's booked and busy.
Block out weeks. Repeat that, Donnie. I have to block out weeks.
Yeah, like for festivals, like it was this one. There's like two festivals that's conflicting with each other, so I had to pick and choose like what I wanted to do.
And which one did you choose?
I choose not Billboard, not Billboard. What did I just Lollapalooza? A week earlier, I'll be at Pitchfork, hopefully. So,
and there's also the one in Tennessee.
And then there's the one in Tennessee, and then there's the one in New York, and then Firefly, and Yeah, it's a lot. So I had to. I can't go back to festivals. That's just not me. I got to recharge because then I hate people. So
We're literally like having like a TUC meeting on the podcast. This is crazy.
Yeah. I can only imagine someone listening to this podcast right now and being like, "What the fuck are they talking about?" I
right.
thought Donnie was going to tell us about how he's doing, but now he's
Music festivals.
Donnie, pick a number and move on.
Oh, and then the Roots picnic. So it's like that's in Philadelphia. Yeah, I forgot to mention that to you, but yeah, I also applied for the Roots picnic in Philadelphia.
Also proud of my son.
Yeah, I mean they have Mary J. Blige there in Music Soul Child, so that's all I
such a
need to
proud dad.
Wow, that's really nice. Marie, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I think I'm like 7, 8. Like I just came back in France and everything. And yes, I'm fine.
I like the aesthetic behind you.
Ah, thank you.
It's great.
Yeah, it's not my apartment, but yeah.
So, how does it feel going from a Caribbean country back to a European country? Is it like a culture shock? Well, how are we feeling?
Yeah, a little bit.
How
Yeah.
so?
Like just the weather first, and like people like really like a little bit stressed out here, but yeah, it's fine. I see my friends again and everything, so yeah.
Oh, why is everyone stressed in France?
I don't know.
Are they in the middle of a civil war or something like that? Revolution?
God damn it, another one?
Government overthrow or something like that, right? Where they was wearing like yellow crossing, like
Yeah, like even like yesterday, I wanted to take like the train and everything, and there was like, how do you say it? Like they they did like a manifestation for like stopping
Demonstration.
like all the traffics and everything because
demonstration.
yeah, they are not like how do you say paid enough. So yeah, they were like stopping the trains.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I had to take an Uber and everything. Complicated.
She's like these fucking assholes.
These bastards made me use an Uber. I don't want them to get any money.
Fucking peasants.
So right now, Marie, you're at, like you said, like you're between like a 7 to 8, so like a 7.5.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Could be better, could be worse. I don't know, but no. I mean, you guys are after me about going after older women, but look at France's president. That guy fucking married his high school teacher.
Yes.
Hey, good for him.
Right? Like, yo, like, anyone who remembers that hot school teacher from like their Spanish or English class, like he is living your dream right now.
No, I remember mine's from computer class. I still remember her name.
Computer class.
Yeah, computer
Wait,
class.
did you say computer class or computer class?
Computer class.
Say it again.
Computer.
like what we're using to speak to each other.
Yeah. What? I'm not saying it wrong, am I?
You said it funny. That's all.
I'm just saying it's weird because
Computer.
usually it's like the hot English teacher. It's never like the computer teacher.
Oh, she was hot too. She did yoga. There's two.
Man, I do yoga. I didn't get to meet her.
She had a back tattoo.
Nice. Oh god.
Computer teacher with back tattoo.
Donnie,
You stared at her hard, huh, Donnie?
No, I mean, she wore like these clothes that made it obvious that she was showing off her back tattoo.
Oh,
Like it was always visible.
What school did you go to? I'm just gonna Google the roster real quick. And,
I don't want to say her name.
You don't have to. I'm a Donnie. I'm a PI.
Okay. Grover Washington Junior Middle School.
Thank you.
If anybody knows, shout out to that teacher. We all know who she is.
Nice. I have a project now.
Now, Sean, how's things with you? Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna say I'm actually sitting at a good like 9 right now.
Damn.
Actually,
That's the highest you've ever been.
It must be nice.
Must be nice, Sean.
I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of like interesting things I guess going on around me, either with me personally or like just things that I'm noticing. Spring got here. It seems like the energy is kicking up for a lot of people. Things are cool at work. I recently discovered that this contest that I entered like last year resulted in me actually having a book published now. So I
I
have a
was
book.
just about to say, congratulations, man.
Thank you. So
What's the
like
book? What's the book about?
It's a small book of poetry. If I had one right next to me, I would show it. But it's basically like the small book of poetry that I had written while I was going through shit last year. And it's like kind of like a mental health journey between like going from the worst state of mental health to like being optimistic about things going forward. So I'm like hoping that people can take inspiration from it, like, use their
Oh my
arts.
God, plug the name already.
Interview with the Ego. That's the name of it. You can find it
Thank
on
you.
Amazon.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Jesus Christ. Like, what, you want me to Google the book description? You know how many like fucking millennials are publishing shit like that? Come on.
You true. But yes, Interview with the Ego. You can find it on Amazon.
The Ego. That why did you choose that alias?
The Ego. It's basically I feel like a lot of us like need to not like get in touch with like our darker sides, but it's like I feel like a lot of us are dealing with like our own personal stories and stuff like that. But
You still work on that villain origin story?
No.
Who's us exactly? Are you trying to say something, bro?
I'm saying that if a lot of people would actually not embrace their dark side, but actually address their dark side, we wouldn't be causing.
You're throwing shade. I see.
So you want us to be more like Donnie?
What?
Donnie caught the bullet, and it wasn't even about him today.
We talking about this man's book.
But
so we do a process of elimination then?
Don't look at me. I'm doing great. Okay, fuck, my ego is great.
He said my ego doesn't need to be checked.
It's fine. He's okay.
There's just been like a lot of interesting things going on, so I'm excited about life.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm about at a 9-2. I'm not being stressed out no more. Got a lot of good things on the horizon.
Why are you not being stressed out anymore? What was stressing you? Who was stressing you?
You know how it goes, man.
We finally got rid of that dead weight.
Come on, I made Donnie spill his guts about his hot teacher. Don't think you're getting off the hook.
Well, I could get off the hook.
You're on the hook.
I mean, man, like, some people, I feel like, life is like seasons, and people are like seasons as well. So you got some seasons with like the weather just, it all says by the day. Then you got some seasons that you just got to stick it up for like a long winter or something like that,
Wow,
so,
that's so profound. Okay, so Liddell broke up with his crazy ex.
No. I did not say all that. I did not say all that.
Okay. They're taking a break. Oh wow, look at that.
I'm single.
Liddell's original, guys. He is original. As original as our topic of the week, shall we?
Yeah, let's get into it.
No, let's progress. Yeah, the dirty old.
Yeah, wait, he's gonna be dirty old.
Okay, you and your subliminal messages to the youth over here. Well, but no, that's great because it actually touched upon what we're talking about. Subliminal messages. I'm a certain believer that we're only fed certain portions of the truth that those in charge think we can handle, and whatever fits their agenda. But I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say about it.
Well, my perspective on this is that I just feel like when it comes down to the media in general, like it does serve a purpose, but the purpose, but at the same time, we have to ask ourselves, does it have our best interests at heart? You know what I mean? Because I'm from New York, Sean, you're from New York, and Kenny, you're kind of like caught between New York and Jersey, so we kind of
I'm in Jersey. I identify with Jersey. I'm done with New York.
Oh, so
I'm done with you people.
Okay,
brother, man been in Jersey for like what 3 months?
Fuck New York. Are you kidding me? Like I can drive to places now. Amazing.
But it's like when you go on the news, like what's like one of the first leading stories that you see? Oh, such and such got shot, or like anything in regards to politics, in other countries. It's always a lot of fear mongering, a lot of tactics. I feel like just to like basically control us, like control how we think, how we're supposed to feel. And it has like negative connotations to it. Like you rarely gonna see any news with something positive. If you do, it's gonna be like towards the end of the news cycle. So I still feel like that's the main thing. Like the news that we're getting is just not conducive to our mental health, and sometimes it can make us question ourselves, our way of life, the way we think, because we live in a world where like if you're not on one side of the spectrum, it's like, oh, you need to be canceled or you need to be like chastised for just having your own opinion, your own thoughts and beliefs.
Oh
So
God, don't I know that? Don't I fucking know that?
Yeah. Didn't Facebook come out a couple of months ago when it found out that they were filtering their media like for negative results? Because obviously bad stories, they get the most attention, they get the most vocal reactions and stuff like that. So they've been tailoring their news feed to like promote like alt right or like just anything outrageous to get people fired up and stuff like that.
They were doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it came out in a whistleblower 60-minute type thing. Yeah, they like put the most outrageous news, like the ones that like get people fired up, like Trump and stuff like that, like magma and all that stuff, and they'll put it to their forefront.
but I think it stems outside like the news cycle as well. It's also in our form of entertainment because even like in commercials, infomercials, YouTube ads, shows that we see on streaming platforms, it's almost like for most it's like it's always like a hidden political or social agenda within it. You know what I mean? So it's like even Hollywood is now aligned with like most of what we see in the media, like on the news stations and stuff like that nowadays. Like I'm not sure. Have you guys checked out that new show on HBO Max called DMZ? It's like a 4-part miniseries.
Yeah, don't you want me interviewing someone from there?
Yes, yes, yes. The Asian chick.
Okay, great. So
Is she Asian?
Yes.
Please edit this out, editor.
Wait,
Right, exactly.
I just forgot her name. My apologies.
That's even worse.
You want us to interview her and you don't know her name?
God.
Editor, make sure you edit all this out.
I'm just gonna get off this pod.
That Asian chick.
Yes,
I mean, what else am I supposed to say? I can't just say the chick.
I mean, her
the
name.
actor from the fucking show. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
that's it. I thought it was good. I know it's not Rosario Dawson. I knew we couldn't get her, but like,
But what is DMZ about? Like the rise of TMZ?
No, so it's based off of like a really like it's a comic book from like 2004, I want to say, like back when Bush was still president. And like the premise is basically that America has a second civil war and it's motivated because our government brought us into so many different wars in the Middle East and people got sick of it. And it like follows a photo. The story for the show seems different, but in the book it's like this photo journalist who just like literally just got hired as an intern, and like I think like his entire party gets murdered, and he's like stuck in Manhattan, which is the DMZ or a demilitarized zone basically, and it's basically quarantine, locked down, and he's basically like documenting everything that goes on there, sending it out to the world, and like he gets involved in all these political conflicts. It's wild.
Claire Lene is her name. Claire Lene.
Claire Lene, great. Claire, please don't ever watch this podcast. I beg of you. But yeah, no, I happy to interview her. What the fuck are we even talking about?
Media.
The media.
Right. Yeah, how did we get here? Yeah, have any of you ever gotten canceled for like, I don't know, disagreeing with the popular opinion? Nothing
No. Not yet.
Not really, because although it does not reflect on this podcast, I am kind of, I'm very conscious of what I say in front of people because I understand how my words could get misconstrued as on here. So, This is like my safe space to just fuck up, but I will not do that in a public setting or anything like that.
No, I certainly need to learn that skill because that exact thing has been happening.
Yeah, I feel like Kenny, you just
Just say what I
say
want.
whatever comes to mind.
No, I mean, like,
I look at his stories and I'm just like, yeah, he's probably getting backlash for that.
oh, 100%. Like if I'm able to talk about it, like a couple months ago, I made a joke about Palestine and Israel, and essentially it was, I was eating dinner with like some Palestinian friends, and I was using a fork and knife, and like, and the joke is that they eat with their hands, so they're like, "Hey, Kenny, you pussy, eat with your hands and whatnot," and they were all on top of me about it, and so I was like, "If you keep bullying me, I'm just gonna be pro-Israel from now on," and they all died laughing. So I shared that shit on my story, and I figured it invoked the same response. It did not. It did not invoke the same response. Everyone was like, "Oh, so you're a genocide supporter now? How could you?
Kenny.
How could you be a white supremacist?" And I'm like,
But is that true? Or that's just based off the assumptions, based on what you were saying. So they just jumped immediately to that irrational
well,
conclusion.
A, it's not true, and B, they jumped to conclusions, but they kept going with it to the point that I was like, okay, like actually be an Israeli supporter. And it's funny because after looking into this, I realized that all the information they told us was absolute lies, 100%. They're like, oh, okay, they're committing genocide against Palestinians. Well, actually, Palestinians' population has grown like 9 times its original size. So either they're very shitty at genocide, or maybe you shouldn't call the grandchildren of Holocaust survivors Nazis. So
Oh,
I think like if you think about it, like why would you accuse them of all people of committing something like that and then not even have your facts right? Then they're like, oh, the Israel government has never existed, and I'm like, well, neither has Palestine. You guys were named that by the Romans essentially, and you only moved in with like the last few centuries. And to add like salt on the wound, you went to the site of the holiest temple in all of Judaism, and you built a mosque on top of it. Like you knew it was under there, and you
isn't
put
that
Allah.
considered an act of war?
It
Like you're
should
not
be.
supposed to attack holy places, right?
Yeah, but it happened centuries ago, essentially, and they just kept the upkeep or whatever. And
Oh, okay.
there was no Jewish state until recently, so no one could say anything about it. And like after Israel wins the war fucking fair and square against like 6 to 7 different countries, and they get their little borders, they amass all this land, right? And they're like, okay, for peace, we will give you some of your land back. Like they used to have the entire Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, but they were like, okay, so I don't want more beef with you guys. Here you go. And what happened? More beef. So I'm just like, okay, so 6 to 7 of your countries failed at taking them out, and you're still butthurt about it. And so all you can do is talk shit and lies about them to get like the public opinion on your side. For example, like one thing you'll get is that, oh, they're killing our children, and they're launching terrorist attacks against Palestine. Well, that was after you shot a bunch of missiles at them, and you purposely are putting your children in places where they might die, so that when they die, it'll get you some sympathy. And if you go to like videos of like journalists in Palestine like interviewing people, like there's this one channel I can recommend. This guy is like asking different Palestinian people, hey, if your child was a martyr for your country, would you be happy with them? They're like, yes, of course, I would love them for them to be a martyr. um, a martyr being someone who dies for a cause, essentially. And this happens a lot because you'll find like kids who stole like M16s and want to go on like a shooting spree, and when they die, the news will only say IDF soldiers have murdered an innocent child, when that child was like shooting up the place not long after, not long before. So it's just like the media has given us a certain angle, and like everyone took it as Bible without looking further into it. And if you say anything slightly different or even take a nuanced opinion, they're all at your throat. So I'm kind of grateful I got canceled because I got to learn all the truth.
Yeah, you guys remember like during like what Kenny said, like what last year at Palestine and Israel debate, and people were in celebrities' comments saying, "Hey, you should speak up for Israel" or something like that, and then people would like get under those comments and be like, "No, that's not true." And it was just a whole debate back and forth. Um, with everybody not even being from that region, but just like America, just like seeing what they see on CNN or ABC or what have you.
That was my original point. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm not either of these people, so my take will always be nuanced. And I realize that some people only care about this topic because it's the cool thing to think about. Like,
It was cool at the time, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You remember Free Tibet? Everyone was on that
Yeah.
thing. What happened? Like, you just gave up and went to Palestine? Come on.
I don't know why. So you said Free Tibet. I was just, the country. Never mind.
What did you think?
I was thinking about like bad sports and shit.
Oh my god.
Free Tibet. No, Free Tibet.
Free Tibet.
I was like, oh shit, I gotta make my picks for.
Now we talk about genocide. We go to gambling. But again, there is no genocide. It's a fucking lie, and I don't care who hears this because it's just the truth.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. Let me pose this question: is there anything that's basically out there in the media? Because with each network, you basically, except for like Fox News and other right wing media sources. Is there anything that's promoted heavily in the news that you heavily disagree with and that you would be willing to like combat anybody against?
I mean, to be fair, the left wing media does it too.
That's a good question.
Like CNN is really biased, so it's both sides.
It's so weird. I don't even know where to get my news from. I mainly listen to.
Let me ask you this: then. Do you trust cause every now and then somebody posts like some bomb ass tweet, and they just share it on Instagram? Like, do you buy into those messages?
No.
Okay.
I'll say with social media is a little bit harder to navigate when it comes to like how to really feel, because everybody's immediately jumping on trying to be like not like the first person to break a story, not like natural news, but like social
trying
media,
to show that they down.
Like social media becomes the game of trying to get like the most kind of like attention. So like let's say, let's target like a site, like let's say a page like the Shade Room. Everybody knows that the Shade Room is toxic. Like everybody will know that the Shade Room is toxic, but everybody still gravitates towards it because like that's where everybody goes to like comments and express. Like the Shade Room will purposely, let's say, take a subject. Okay, let me see, because I know they've probably done something like this before. Like take a subject like let's say sexuality or so. They'll take like Dwayne. I'm forgetting that basketball player's name right at the moment, but like Dwayne Wade. They'll take like Dwayne Wade's like daughter, the transition son, they'll put that up knowing that a lot of people are about to like comment either being homophobic, transphobic, and stuff like that, and they eat it up. Like, it's just like,
that's basically what Facebook was doing.
Like they'll do it purposely to kind of like draw that attention. So a lot of people will be on like Twitter or like what's going on Twitter right now. Right now, I know on Twitter, a major story that's going on is that apparently somewhere, I don't remember which theme park this is, but apparently at a theme park, a child just died because like he was
Chicago's iconic park. It was a new ride, yeah.
So like apparently like and I only get this from Twitter, but it's like apparently there's a video going around where like you see the ride go up and I guess you see the child fall. So now everybody's like, why would you put that up? And then there's becoming debates about like, oh, he wasn't secured, they didn't do their job right. And it's like all of that going on and everybody's putting their own opinion in it, but no one's actually saying like anything of what actually happened or like what's going on. Everybody's just trying to throw their own like information and stuff like that. So it's hard to navigate.
Because people are too lazy to do the research. Like all you get from like news sites and websites like that is just the headline. That's it. They'll tell you what happened, not the context. You have to do your own research because that's not American media is trash. It won't tell you all the details of something. It'll just give you something. And American, well, not even just Americans. People are just so lazy that they'll form their opinions just on the headline. That's it. But,
even though it may say directly what it pertains to, like in the article, people still just read the headlines and then just try to. It's fake woke. That's what it is.
Like everybody's putting their own like narrative on like a bunch of stuff like that.
To try to make it seem like they're like they're woke or like cool, like, oh, look at me, like I'm caring about something else besides myself. Like, why don't you and stuff like that.
You even see that like toxic positivity kind of like happen on, let's say, those social media pages that are about like mental health and all the stuff like that, So because obviously you won't know the person until you actually know the person, you'll get the pages who like are just like, everybody should be able to free speech and all the stuff like that. And those are true. Let's say the person posting it is somebody that notoriously ever talks over everybody, cuts people off, like, doesn't let people actually speak. But they're sharing those posts of like, everybody should be allowed to speak. And you're like, yeah, I'm rooting for you, but you don't
That's
know
bullshit.
the truth.
Right.
That's bullshit. Because people, they rather just talk about for feelings rather than facts in itself. Like whoever gets the best emotional reaction. Because sometimes the truth is just very logical, just straight to the point. It's black and white. There's no emotions, no feelings behind it whatsoever. But people, they're always gonna grab towards like your heartstrings and try to get you like sympathetic for something that might not be all the way true or just not true at all. You know what I mean? So that's it. But Marie, let me ask you this. Because obviously, like, it's a cultural difference. Like, us being from America, like, you traveled abroad across Europe, you're based in France. Like, how's the media basically, what's the media like over there? Like, is it
I feel
like,
like
for like propaganda? Like,
it's like a little bit the same, and like they make you also like really like take how do you say, make you like take part like between like two parts, like against or for
mm-hmm.
something. Yes, and as you said, like there's many like more like bad news than good news, and like yeah, I feel like they also like make you want to make you feel like a certain way for something, and like sometimes push you to make like some decisions too. So
Now, have you ever faced anything like that? Like, let's say, for instance, there might be something that's everybody seems to be uniformly for. Like, everybody seems to be walking lockstep in regards to what people are saying in the media, social media out there, and you yourself, you as an individual, like, I don't really quite vibe with that, So, have you ever had to like, go against, the group think, the public, opinions and stuff like that, and just I don't know, like, be left on the island to yourself, have to like defend your own choices and beliefs?
um like for instance, it was like I don't know if you heard the news. It was like a man, a trans man,
Mm-hmm.
transsexual, who was like eating at a restaurant, but he had like in a like really like chic restaurant, and he was like wearing a little top, and like he had like this was like you can see like his arms and everything, and like the waiter didn't want to like let him eat there because like people like were shocked about how like he was dressed up. So there was like a big like debate on like Twitter, for instance, like where they said like, oh, why did he dress like this? And like there was other one who were like taking like his defense, and yeah, so many like debate like this too.
Okay, so basically, like, so most of it like was everybody like, in favor of him and his choice,
No,
and
there
or
was
what?
many like two groups, like some people
Okay,
who were like uh who took like his defense, and other one who like answered and were like, no, you're not right and everything. Yeah.
okay, I see. But yeah, like that's normally how it goes, with a lot of the social issues and things of that nature because that's I believe Sean, you mentioned something about like freedom of speech, right? But I think freedom of speech is bullshit. It's only freedom of speech if you agree with what that person is saying. If you don't agree with what that person is saying, they don't want to hear from you. Like, oh, like you're misogynistic, oh, you're racist, you're homophobe, transphobe, what anti-Semitic, whatever case may be. So it's like you have to like kind of like proceed with caution, so to speak.
Yeah. But I still think it's freedom of speech. I think what many people fail to understand is that doesn't mean freedom from consequences or freedoms from reactions. Like people are allowed to react to however they want to, um, but you still have freedom of speech. That just doesn't mean you can say whatever you want, and people can interpret it how they want to.
Yeah, like I get that. Like from that standpoint, like yeah, you got freedom of speech. But that does not mean that those same people, like, they're not allowed to, like, push back with what you're saying. But it's almost as if though, like, if you're not on that, if you're not on the same wavelength as, I don't know, I'm all fucked up. Long night, ladies and gentlemen. But like, if you do not agree with that person, essentially, it's like, okay, then they don't want to hear from you whatsoever, and then they call you all kinds of names that's outside of your own. So
Yeah,
it's like,
but that's also their freedom of speech, I mean, to an extent.
It's
okay,
like a lot of people. It's like a lot of people have like freedom of speech, and we're all allowed to have like opinions and stuff like that. The problem starts to become that a lot of people will treat like their own opinions as like either fact, or they won't listen to like other
Gospel, yeah.
sides, and like y'all were saying, it's just like it becomes this kind of like war rather than it being like us having a debate, a discussion where it's like, well, I feel this way, and it's like, well, I feel this way, and it's just like, all right, let's just agree to like disagree. A lot of people will be like, well, you're this, and that because you believe this, and that. And it's just like, it really don't need to escalate to the point of like us calling each other names and stuff like that. Everybody's just getting their
Bro, people be putting their whole pussy into their opinion. I don't get it.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't. The topic can't even be like that important. Like I remember being in NYU and we were in anthropology class, and I don't know. I got to conversations like, oh yeah, so anthropology is not. I know it's called a science, but it's just so different from every other kind of science. Like it doesn't use a scientific method. You can run experiments. So my thing is like, why is it even called a science? And that's not even to be disrespectful. I'm just saying it's kind of its own thing. And this chick with some fuzzy ass legs, big fucking circle glasses, UGG boots, and like all these stickers on their computer about like destroying capitalism got so fucking pissed with me. Like she was trembling with rage, and I'm like, are you good, bitch? Like what's going on? This is just a discussion. None of our conclusions will actually like change anything about life. So we can say whatever you want.
Yeah. The worst is when you see people getting angry and you're just like keeping calm.
Right?
Yeah.
Why is the camera still on me?
oh, my fault.
This gives me so much anxiety. It's like get out Marie. She was about to say some fire.
Yeah, say that again, Marie. You're dropping.
Well, I just said the worst is when you see like the people getting angry and you just like keep calm.
Yeah.
During the argument.
And they're like, why aren't you getting angry? And I'm like,
and they get even angrier after that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And I have such a short fuse with that kind of shit. Like, if you get angry over some stupid shit, I'm gonna get angry over some stupid shit. Except I'll stop talking about the topic at hand and I'll just insult you as a person. That's it.
I was up in the wee hours today, arguing with some guy on Facebook Live. Not Facebook Live, TikTok Live.
No.
Partying.
No, I was arguing with him. I was just
on
trolling.
TikTok.
Yeah,
that happens. That happens.
Yeah. But apparently he was thinking like from his 6-story hotel room in the Caribbeans that he could prove that the Earth is like flat. And I'm like, my guy, you ain't high up enough to determine that. And he was like, no. And then he like went into the spiel about God created everything. Then he said that the moon that we were looking at was a local moon. And yeah.
But what if the world is flat?
Don't do this. Don't do this.
This is the question I always pose to like these people. I mean,
I'm just saying, like,
I don't care either way, but the question I always pose is what do the Illuminati, let's use the Illuminati as a name place. Like what does the Illuminati have to gain from making everybody believe that the Earth is round? So it's just like, what do they have to gain? And yeah, and then he started bringing religion into it. Then he like moved to like being a Trump supporter, and I was like, oh, that explains it.
That's also the funny thing. Like when you dodge the question and just redirect it into something like a whole different argument, you're like, that's not what we're talking about.
Exactly. Like I'm just like, You lost me at local moon.
You lost me at arguing on TikTok. Like the fuck?
Because I had time today. All right, I was finished my jogging. I was at the art museum steps. The sun was coming up. Happened to scroll, and it was like the first thing. Like this dude was like really passionate, and I'm like, you obviously didn't listen to middle school basic science.
Hold
This
up.
is all.
Did y'all
Hold
like exchange numbers and continue the argument there?
No,
that
I
y'all
was
hit each other's
blocked.
face?
I was
Oh, so
blocked.
you was blocked?
Yeah.
That's
Guys,
even worse, bro.
Guys, I just want to redeem something. This whole flat Earth thing being part of religion is really just the Christian thing. I'm not trying to like redeem all religion or anything, but
Is
I
it really?
swear to you, if you go into like the actual Hebrew Torah or Tanakh where we get all of this from, it never describes the shape of the planet. It says like there's a firmament up there, but that could just be like
Yeah, that's
atmosphere.
what he used a lot to
Yo,
like to
people need
validate
to
his
stop.
argument. The
People need to
firmament.
stop. If you do not speak or read Hebrew, you need to stop. All those translations of the Bible are so fucking off. Like, let's bring the gay thing back in. Like, so the word they use for "you shall not sleep with you shall not lie with a man as you would a woman," or what, something along those lines. One of those verses that like, are used to like condemn gay people. It's like one of the words for you or like man is like ambiguous. It doesn't mean like with a boy or anything. The verse is like you shall not lie with a boy as you do a man, because in that time the Greeks were famous for fucking boys essentially. So like to differentiate their own people from the Greeks, they were like, you're not doing that. You are not doing that. But like the phrasing they use is more like pedophilia sometimes rather than actual homosexuality. So it's not homosexuality that they're condemning so much as it is like pedophilia. And that's a glorious thing about like the ancient Hebrew Bible. Like it's open into interpretation, and everyone in Judaism loves to argue. Like that's basically the thing that like brings people to it. You can have
Yeah.
any opinion as long as you can argue it, and no one's gonna throw you out for it. So it's like don't use the Bible to like fucking push your conspiracy theories if you're not like a legit scholar on it.
Yeah, it wasn't even the worst thing that I heard. I once heard from my friend who I had to stop being friends with. He said that the moon wasn't real; it was like a projection.
Wait, hold on. Time out. No. So you stopped being friends with this person because of the moon? Because he said that the moon was a projection.
No, because
are you that enamored with the moon?
No, his line of thinking was just outrageous, and I was like, I can't be friends with this guy.
Maybe he was high.
No, he wasn't high. He wasn't high.
He said just sober.
He's straight sober.
Donnie, which of my ideas have made you think I should stop being friends with Kenny?
Nothing. You haven't said anything outrageous.
I
don't
harder.
think anybody has.
Fuck, I'll try harder. Let me think.
He said, "I'll try harder." No, it was like a while ago. I'm really open to interpretation and ideas, but the way he was talking, it was just like, this is not good for my mental health. Like, this is not good for my relationships. Like,
because he said the moon was a projection.
Yeah, because if you have that line of thinking, then there's no coming back from that.
You are such a Pisces. I swear.
There's nothing you can say to justify like the moon is like a projection, like it's not real, like it's a ball of energy or whatever he was saying. And then he was saying like the whole solar system is like under the dome of like you can see it in the earth or something.
Oh, that's valid.
Oh God, don't tell me you believe in like
not being friends with Liddell.
Nah, I'll just fuck. I don't know what to believe, man. I'll just live in my life, man.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if it's flat, it's flat. If it's round, it's round. It doesn't really.
I just think that these things are just so trivial. It's not worth arguing.
Yeah,
about.
like it's it's whatever. But I had time today for that guy.
It's like arguing who's better, Eminem or Jay-Z. Everybody knows Jay-Z. So like, what's the purpose of the argument?
Well, actually,
that's debatable.
Kanye West. No, I love how white women like love Kanye West's album, but after the whole Trump and Kim thing, they all hate him now, and like they're going really up and above with the hate. Like they're trying to get him dropped from Coachella and whatnot, and it's just like, why?
It was the
Kanye
same
is my
thing.
spirit animal.
It was the same thing that Donald Glover was dealing with a couple of years back when he made Redbone, and everybody assumed like that album was for like black people, like for the culture. And a picture was circulating that he was out with his wife, who's white. So they decided to dig into like his past and stuff like that, and found out that he has a what is it? It's not exactly a fetish. He prefers like Asian chicks and stuff like that. So now they're saying like he's a coon, like he's Uncle Tom. And
but his preference is his preference at the end of the day. Like
I don't know, man. Preferences are weird.
This is the way I see it. If Donald Glover wasn't Donald Glover, Charles Gambino didn't have the success that he had, nobody would care who he dated. But it's because he's a man of stature. That also everybody cares.
Not really. I noticed that people who are like in interracial relationships on social media get a lot of flack in the comments sometimes, usually by their own people. But I gotta say, like, racial preferences are the weirdest thing to me ever. Like people who say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I only date this and this race," or "Oh, I'm sorry, I only date my own race," or "only date white people," and it's just like, bro, you take what you can get. I mean, what the fuck? Like you have no game. You have no game. Like, why are you cutting off like 80% of the population? Like, come on, my guy.
Okay, I'm just playing devil's advocate. So this is not my issue or my story or anything like that.
Sure,
Donnie. But what? But what if that's like okay? Like it's not so much just a preference, but those are just the type of woman that attracts that gravitate towards that guy.
I'll say.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. That's not even his fault or whatever. Like, yeah, you just take what life gives you. That's fine. But it's just like ever since Zendaya and Zoe Kravitz kind of have been part of the popular media.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz.
Whatever.
Oh, Lenny Kravitz.
It's just Zoe. It's just Zoe. Like I don't know why they put Zoe. If they wanted to be Zoe, there needs to be 2 O's and a Y. That's how that.
Yeah,
that would be Zoe.
No, it's Zoe. It's actually Zoe. It's actually Zoe.
It has like an acid on top of the E, right?
Yeah, like an
Wait, did you just say acid or accent?
Accent.
She got acids though. But
acid.
No, I'm just saying, like ever since they like went out and be like, oh look, I got they're both dating white guys. It's like, and because like Kim Kardashian and fucking Megan Fox, so basically all these different starlets of different ethnicities are dating white guys. And it's now the fucking trend. Like everybody wants one now. It's like, are you actually attracted to them, or do you just know you'll get almost as popular?
Oh, the Kardashians are definitely doing it for a trend.
Not that Hollywood is real.
I'm not even talking
for
about
the babies.
Yeah. Oh god.
I'm not talking even about the starlets themselves. I'm talking about like the people who watch them and use them and model them as the ways to behave,
Oh yeah.
They're going after white skinny guys. Girls, let's go get some. Like it's
that speaks to like the question, like, does the media have too much control? Yeah.
Basically, it's just
Dottie bringing it back home.
You know me.
If you form your values, your opinions, and your taste based off of what famous people in the media tell you to, then you need to consider taking a long walk off a short pier. That's all I'm saying.
Like you're really not thinking yourself at that point.
Get it.
That's why I prefer. What you mean you don't get it?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what do you prefer? I think that's a more important question.
Wait.
We're not doing that.
Wait, I want to know. Let's get back to what you don't understand.
No. I think the people want to know, what do you prefer?
I mean, I've always touched on it. Redheads. I can't get enough of my gingers, and I like that because it's not portrayed in the media. Or I don't think.
Told me the grass is much greener.
That's my shit. Shout out to As Told by Ginger, yo. That's my shit. I still listen to that theme song to this day. Shout out to Marcy Gray.
Is this what my life is coming to?
I had to get that in.
Shout out to Marcy Gray, She keep her whole foot in that.
Mark, did you
When
just say
I
you
pay
put?
a visit.
Wait, hold, you said you put your whole foot in that?
No, Marcy Gray
She
put her
did.
whole foot in the theme song.
Yeah, first of all, it's Macy Gray.
Macy?
What
Get
did
it
I
right.
say? I
You said
always
Marcy
pronounce her
Gray.
name wrong.
Like you talk about Marcy Projects or some shit.
She's
Oh.
a singer with the raspy voice.
Yeah, with the fro.
Oh, is that your type? Oh, okay, good.
That's not my type. I just said gingers are my type.
So what's wrong with Macy Gray?
I'm looking at her. She has like ginger.
She ain't my type. I don't find her attractive.
She's 54.
What is it about her that you don't find
Stop.
attractive?
Look, you gonna try to box me into something? I'm not afraid to say it. You know, I don't like her features.
Penny's liking it. She's 54.
Hey, like, she is 54. That's too young. I'm kidding.
Marie just saved you right there.
She's like, she's kind of gingery. I mean, she reminds me of who's that actress who's on Ghostbusters?
So what if she had a red afro? Is that good enough?
Which red afro? I don't think I know what that is.
If Macy Gray had a red afro, can you say you like redheads?
Afro of the color red.
Oh, a red afro.
Yeah.
No,
Like Carrot Top.
You still don't like her features?
no.
What?
I don't like her facial features.
What specific facial features?
Why are we doing this?
Look,
For
What
the
if
you're trying to
views.
box me into something. And look, I'll give you the
For
truth.
the views, of course. I mean, I know where it's going.
I give you the truth. Look, she's just not my type.
All right, so ladies out there,
Oh,
Donnie prefer redheads with freckles.
No, I didn't say freckles. I just said red hair.
Yeah,
I mean,
And it can't be like dyed red hair. It has to be like natural.
Natural.
red hair.
Yeah. With pale skin, blue eyes, blonde hair.
So like Anne Frank.
German, high blood.
Mary Jane.
Anne Frank wasn't redhead.
Yes, she
I didn't say
was.
Anne Frank. No, Anne
Was
Frank
she?
wasn't red. Why are we talking about Anne Frank? Stop it, guys.
I was in the back of my mind. I'm like, where did you get that Anne Frank was redhead?
I saw it in my textbook. She had red hair.
No, she didn't.
Unless somebody
Bringing
colored
us
it.
back to how the media controls. Because I don't think she had red hair.
Are we talking about like conspiracy theories against Jewish people again? Because like, bro, oh my god.
I did not say the word Jew.
Well, hold on. Oh god. No, I googled Anne Frank and some wild images came up. Like, okay, what that's something.
Well, all the pictures are in black and white. So
No. That's not it. There's a picture that's like Anne Frank today is a Syrian girl, and it's like a picture of a girl who just like got bombs dropped on her in Syria.
Okay.
It's like, what the fuck?
There's a movie about Anne Frank and she has red hair. So I was right.
No, I don't think. Well, the actress might have had red hair. And no,
Right,
it's not.
exactly.
It's not uncommon for like Polish Jewish people to have red hair, but I don't think she did. But that's just what the fuck were we talking about?
Let the play before we get in trouble about talking about
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry. Like the picture just threw me off. I thought it was like, what the fuck? Oh god. No. You can say Jew. It's not a slur. It's just the way you say it that can be bad.
How do I say it though?
No, you didn't say. I'm not saying anything.
You say like a.
No,
like
he
a
didn't say
neo-Nazi.
anything. He didn't say anything. I just said Jewish and or something.
Like the Drake episode.
No, that never happened. That never happened. Edit out everything, please. No. What I had said was like, oh, are you guys talking about like the Jewish conspiracy theories that like get really published on like social media? Because I can tell you what right now why they're all bullshit. If you want to like go through the list of them.
No, that's not.
That's not okay. Great, because
That does fall under our topic, though.
They run YouTube.
God damn
And
it,
probably
dude.
Spotify too.
That is what we're talking about. You can't say that.
That's to say the media has too much control.
No, that's not what
You
you
can't
said.
say that,
Disney
especially
owns
on their
everything.
platform
Stop
that
saying
we
that.
upload our content to.
Oh my god! No, Jews do not run the platform. Okay, let's get that straight. They don't run the media. How the fuck did we get here?
From Anne Frank.
Wait, but
That's even worse. That's
wait,
even worse.
who owns YouTube? First of all,
Is it Disney? Disney owns a
It's
lot.
Google.
It's I think it's Alphabet. It's Google, but I think it's the parent company is Alphabet.
Bro, I'm pretty sure
Who
Susan.
and who owns Google?
It's
Susan is, I think, is like the managing director or
Alphabet Inc.
something. Like she
Larry
doesn't own it, but she
She's
Larry
the C-
Page. Okay,
she's the
she
Larry.
definitely,
CEO.
yeah, she like controls.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Larry Page got purple hair. What the fuck?
I'm just wait, hold up. No, the CEO is of Google is Sundar Pichai, and that's Indian dude. So yeah.
Oh, also no wonder when you call Google customer support, they always got those people that talk like this or like hi.
No, editor, edit that out. We're not gonna do that.
No,
Like
we
you
have to
use,
like break out this entire chunk of
yeah, you're not gonna use that type of voice.
wow.
When you say the entire chunk, are we going from like Anne Frank? Oh my
I
God.
don't know. Like the editor is gonna have his work cut out.
We have to
Literally, he'll
chop
have
this
to
up.
work.
I
Jesus
love
Christ.
those people.
And I'm
Uh,
pretty sure they outsource customer
got-
service because
they-
it's cheaper.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but they gotta get these jokes, man. Everybody can get these jokes.
I guess. I mean, anything we say here is like not as bad as like the anti-Israel people in my inbox. Like, yo, the wildest shit, and I'm gonna say it because I'm quoting them. I just want to make it clear that I don't believe any of this, and I'm no longer friends with these people because of this reason. But they were like, oh, Orthodox Jewish people all have STDs, and it's because their husbands sleep around with prostitutes. And when they have sex, it's through a hole in the sheet. Like, this is the kind of shit these anti-Israel people ended up saying. So you have to wonder, is like anti-Zionism just like a cover for like their anti-Semitism? And oftentimes it is. So like when the media pushes these like lies about Israel, they're just like maybe not on purpose, but they're like also pushing like these general conspiracy theories and like this general form of racism as well.
So let me ask everybody a quick question. Where do you get your main helping of news? Like
I got you.
what
I
do
don't
you
watch.
not what do you trust, but what do you feel comfortable consuming?
Oh, I'll tell you right now.
I just look out the window, bro.
No, he has a point because like if anything's important, you'll hear about it in your life, or if it's relevant to you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Donnie, because like you'd be surprised. A lot of mainstream ones you can trust. News. Where is it? I have them all collected into one place. You guys say yours while I find mine.
Yeah, I used to trust Vice media until
No, they're trash now.
until I found out they were trash. Like when they was on YouTube, like they used to be the shit, and then
I'll put it to like this: you could trust a whole lot of news sources until they get financial backing by other influencers, because then now they're controlled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like
But 99.9% of the media in the United States is controlled by a big corporation.
Yeah, or someone like
Yes.
George Soros, who backed up Black Lives.
Let's not talk about George Soros. I think the algorithm is like keyed into that name now.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
Yeah, you'll hear it a lot. Let me tell you right now, I'm going to name you a lot of sources. So the Wall Street Journal is actually not that bad. It's like
I
compared
heard,
to
yeah.
the New York Times, it's like amazing. But as far as like America, you'll want to go for like news sites that are nonprofit. So for example, like Associated Press News is probably the best paper on the planet right now. BBC has always been pretty great, so you can usually trust
BBC.
BBC, we fuck with BBC.
Get
That
you
man is
Daily
British.
Dose of Big Black. See, there's this thing called the Bureau of Investigative
Big bad
Journalism.
corporate structure.
Yeah, if you want politics, you go for the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, which is like a collective of different journalists who know what they're doing.
Interesting.
Let's see. I had a list. The Economist isn't too bad. Let's also go. NPR is good.
What about The Guardian?
The Guardian.
I heard they were like so and so.
It doesn't rank as highly. It's kind of like the New York Times, like back in the day, yeah, but it's kind of a rag now.
Okay.
The New York Times is just such a fucking rag. Oh my god! Like I can't believe I tried working for them.
They used to be like the standard of like journalism, and then
100%. It's like I forget what the topic was about, but there was like this guy who wrote an opinion column, and
I think I know what you're talking about. Like 2 years, a couple of months ago, or something like that.
it was maybe like a year or two ago, and it like split the entire company because you had
Yeah.
like the old journalists who were like, yeah, freedom of speech, he has the right to say that. And you have the new people that are like, his speech, it will cause violence and death.
Yeah, I definitely remember hearing something about that. I forgot what the article was about, but yeah, it definitely divided like the internet and journalism.
It's like, yo, he can have a stupid opinion. It's fine. If you're not stupid yourself, you're not going to commit a crime because of it. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's interesting and sneaky how the CNN transitioned from news, like 24 News, to like entertainment.
Oh, they try copying Fox, basically.
Yeah,
and they're not as good at it either because like they don't have a show like Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I can't really name like a CNN show. Like when you think CNN, I think you think of Anderson Cooper. Is
Don Lemon, maybe that and that other chick, Rachel something.
Rachel Maddow or
I
something
think
like
so,
that.
and like they all suck. They all suck. They're all terrible. Like Don Lemon, especially, but the Anderson Cooper, I never found that insightful.
I always knew of him. I never watched like his segments, but I always knew of him because he was like he had a media personality, like a social media presence. Like everybody like just loved this dude for some reason. I think because he was gay. Like
That
he's
played a
gay.
lot into it, honestly. Like people were like, "Oh, look at this openly gay man. We must support him because
Right, yeah.
It's like you can have someone who's gay and respect that he's gay and also hate him. That's fine. Just you don't have to hate him for being gay. I dislike him because I don't think he's a very good journalist. If you want a really great journalist,
that's another issue. People always just assume that just because like you do not resonate with a particular journalist or any individual for that matter is because of their sexual orientation, like they identify as, their race, things of that nature. Sometimes it's just that okay, like you just don't vibe with that person. You don't like
listen,
their content. It has nothing to do with
I did not
identify as.
know that Anderson Cooper was gay until after I decided I disliked him and his politics.
Yeah. I didn't know he was gay until like after. Like
If he didn't tell me, I would have just assumed he was just fucking bitches all over Washington D.C. Like that's what would be my first assumption. But
so let me ask this question more to our music side of things. So what is a music publication that you consider to be like trustworthy? Like if you guys read like any music publications?
TUC Talk, of course. Are you kidding me? Next question.
Maybe I'd say maybe. So with most, I guess, like in anything, but it's like music, media, whatever. I tend to do a thing where it's like, I guess I don't necessarily rely on one source that I would say I trust the most. It's like
a collection of sources.
Fall into like I'll say I fall into like the range of like the people who let's say will find their information from social media. The only thing is I actually have the curiosity to go deeper into it. So I wouldn't necessarily like read it and be like, oh my God, like Jay-Z and let's say random, I would say this is fake. Jay-Z and Beyonce split up, like kind of stuff like that. And it's just like Jay-Z split up. I will immediately then maybe Google a bunch of different things, seeing where seeing who is talking about it, seeing how much is being brought up and all the stuff like that. Because on social media like Twitter, TikTok, or whatever, a lot of people you might hear, oh, this celebrity died, and the celebrity is still very much alive and kicking, and you're just like, everybody's just like,
that happened to Eddie Murphy,
like R.I.P. and you're just like, they're alive, like
what you mean? I just saw them at Whole Foods.
The food poisoning. No, every good news source will give you their sources. They will give you a list. Like even Wikipedia isn't that bad anymore because it'll tell you what sources they're using, and you can click on the sources and get the real story. But if a news article a news article shouldn't give you sources if it's A, shit, or B, they need to protect those sources because they could die.
I just hate growing up and like going to school, like people like the teachers like look down on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, not even in college.
Because anybody could go into it and just change anything. Like I could
I understand that, but like like if I wanted like if I wanted to like if I didn't like Ben Simmons, I can go
don't like Ben Simmons.
And I can go in and change like, oh, like Ben Simmons, like whatever. But when it pertains to like World War II, I think there's oversight seen more on stuff like that than opposed to like Ben Simmons, like me making some slight correction of a non-point guard starter for like the Brooklyn Nets or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's certain degrees of what you can change. And
I think you're onto something, actually.
Yeah, and I just don't like the fact that they oversaw Wikipedia as, oh my God, so untrustworthy, when that's not true at all.
That's the thing. School in general, I think its only purpose is to prepare you to receive information and not question it.
Yeah.
Essentially, because I just remember going back, like I loved my history and my English classes and whatnot, but I just remember the information they gave me and me at my own age and be like, no, that was wrong. Like you did not give me the full story. Like I'm sorry to keep bringing this back to the Jewish thing, but it's obviously been on my mind a lot lately.
What is your problem against Jews?
No, I have no problem against Jews. My problem is a problem everyone else has against Jews.
I gotcha.
Like, people be like, oh, yo, in medieval times, Jews in Europe got the shit kicked out of them, and that's true. Like, there were pogroms left and right, but when they were living amongst Muslims in their lands, and under their control, they were living the high life. They were respected, they were protected. Everything, man. They were living much better, and that is bullshit. Because no, that's not true. They teach you that in schools, but that is not true. There were plenty of pogroms. They fucking destroyed their temples. There was a special tax just for Jewish and Christian people within Muslim lands that they had to pay because they didn't convert. Like, could you imagine that? Like, oh, Donnie, you're not Catholic? Sorry, you have to pay more at the end of the year than anyone else. And the only way to stop that is be saying you believe Jesus Christ is your savior. That's the equivalent of that.
Yeah, I say regardless to get them off my back, but
Jesus, I love Jesus. Oh God, the Lord, He shines His light on me. Whatever keeps me from paying taxes. That's not the light, and it's my W-2.
All right, so let's land this plane.
Yeah, we definitely
everything else is fine.
I mean, we brought it back multiple times. I think we really started to lose our way.
Yeah,
when we went against Anne Frank, but
I'm gonna keep saying.
We lost our way where you started talking about.
No, we lost our way when you started saying Anne Frank, and you tried to compare my preference to me like an Anne Frank. I think that's what you were doing, and I think that's what the audience is going to see. Donovan definitely would have smashed Anne Frank.
You would have.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't, but I'm just saying.
Okay. So let's plug in our social media and any projects.
We're gonna continue this on Out of Bounds.
Yeah, cool. And I didn't remember what our topic is for next week, but I'm looking forward to it already. Yeah. So me, again, I am a private investigator, therefore I cannot talk about my projects on the air, or else that would defeat the purpose of everything I do.
I do have one question. Have you been involved in any like political like?
He just said he can't answer any questions about his work.
I can tangentially kinda, but local politics, not like
okay, not presidential or any senators statewide.
Nothing that crazy. Nothing that crazy yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten past state level. We're fine.
I hope to see Kenny somewhere. Like, oh, like this investigative journalist broke through and saw the emails and stuff like that, and now currently being held in Russia.
No,
So basically, you want Kenny to be held up for ransom.
that would be awesome. And then
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Kenny both said that. Like, that would be totally dope.
that'd be fucking dope. But like, I think about it, I'm like, oh, my friends and family will probably try to,
Yeah, I
like,
get y'all.
but they're gonna like barter. They're gonna like barter the ransom. Like, 15,000. I don't know. How about like we split at an even?
Right. Monthly installments.
Yeah, and you don't even have to give him back his fingers. Like,
So,
we'll give him a half off.
That's Daddy and that's Donnie. So, Donnie.
Oh, yeah. Check out the latest episode of Indie Flicks with Donnie and my good friend Miranda. Check out my
beautiful. She's beautiful, guys. By the way.
Can you put a link to her Instagram? What's your
No, I am not going to do that. I'll put a link to the podcast. And she's also married. So let me just say that, friendly guys. Looking to slide into her DMs.
You know what? That's the topic for next week. Do you if you're interested in someone, do you respect the fact that they're married or not? Do you still pursue?
Oh, so we're going into relationships and stuff.
It's toxic, but check out my radio show weeknights.
I mean, I personally would, but I'm not sure if Donnie would.
What the fuck? Yeah, plug yourself, Sean, so we can get the fuck out of here. Because this dude talking crazy.
Donnie ready to scrap.
Because I don't do married people. Like, the fuck?
How do you know? How do you know? Maybe they don't tell you the truth.
I mean, you never met a married couple that you like, so.
Oh shit. I gotta take that back. I did get involved with a married woman.
Intentionally or unintentionally?
Sean, play us out. Sean,
intentionally.
See, I can read people, but I know you're the.
But in my defense, she was 50 years old.
So.
The fuck? You stealing my thunder, bro? Sean,
yo,
Sean,
go ahead.
You can find Sean at Black Dog PSN Stay Sparrow.
You can follow me on most social medias under Black Dawn and have an underscore under it or after it. You know, you can find my book on Amazon. I picked up a copy.
Oh, you found it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look at the cover. Oh fuck!
Wait, hold on. Let me give it a solo layout.
That cover kind of fire.
You took that?
No, this was actually one of the options that they gave me. Like, you know, again, it was a contest, so they were just like, you know, here's some layouts. You know, does it look like this one looks cool and it fits the theme? So I'll choose that one. But you can find this on Amazon. Interview with the Ego. You can find me on most social media
right now.
You can find me on most social medias under Black Dawn. It might have an underscore by the end of it. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
You're killing it on TikTok.
Thank you.
I gotta get into this TikTok shit.
You're the second most famous TUC individual on TikTok outside of Monica. Shout out to her.
Wait, hold on. Because Noah was popping on TikTok, right? Yeah, a couple of months weeks ago. Yeah.
Remember he said he'd be scrolling?
Yeah, but he said he was trying to find his niche and he was trying to diversify, but he had to go back to the thing that made him popular.
Shout out to
What was that?
But Monica, Lily, and Sean, they killing it. Monica, Lily, and Sean, they definitely can on TikTok.
Thank you.
Yeah. As for me, ladies and gentlemen, please do not take anything that I say on this show seriously. I'll just be fucking around. I'm playing a character at the moment, you know, so I love all people. I have nothing against Jews, Asians, Indians.
We're editing all that out. Come on.
No, I'm not because I don't feel like editing anything. So I just have to let it be known that, you know, this is all jokes, except for the stuff that I say about Donnie. That's legit. It's serious. Because as you can see, he will mess with a married woman. I was not lying about that.
She was 50.
Who cares? You act like 50 is 100.
You can join us on.
I
our
mean,
chat.
when I was like 23, yeah.
That's why you get 2 50-year-olds.
I mean, she was separated.
No.
apparently.
He
Like,
said,
I
yeah,
don't,
like
I don't know.
he'll consider it. He'll consider it.
What?
No,
I
I
like
was
older
saying,
women.
whenever I'm with a 36-year-old, I'm like, it's like having 2 18-year-olds in one person. Works every time. Works every time.
All right, so somebody sign us off.
We are getting canceled.
Okay, guys, see you next time. Bye.
This episode's been a train wreck, man. And Hail Hydra.